This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
A new record, but it's nothing to be proud of. The shocking number of killings so far this year in the city of Bakersfield, and what the police chief has to say about why they're happening and how the community can help to quell the violence. And the numbers continue to rack up on the number of deaths due to COVID-19 in Kern County, with nearly 24 deaths announced just this morning. We'll have the latest numbers. Plus, kid-sized shots are rolling out across the country and here at home after the CDC approved the vaccine for children. Those stories and more on this Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021. And good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Alex Fisher, and we begin with your 17 homicide tracker as Bakersfield sets a new record for number of homicides with 2 months left to go in the year. Bakersfield Police Chief Greg Terry joined us on 17 News at Sunrise this morning to talk about the increase in violent crimes. He says there have been 53 homicides so far in 2021, compared to 45 in all of 2020, which was a new record. Terry says many of these killings are happening as a result of drug sales. He talked about ways the community can help.
If you know something, say something. We need to leverage all the resources that we have to reduce this violence, because it does, and it will take our community to address it.
By our count, there have been 118 homicides so far this year countywide. Last year, there were 140. That was also a record. We track these killings, the victims, and cases with our 17 News Homicide Tracker. You can find that on our website, kget.com. In your 17 Core Watch this afternoon, a man accused of opening fire on a Greyhound bus, killing one person and injuring 5 others, is competent to stand trial. That is according to a psychiatrist, but he's still not going to trial yet. Court documents state that Anthony Devontae Williams admitted to bringing a gun onto a bus headed from Los Angeles to the Bay Area on February 3rd of last year. He told investigators he tried to shoot a man he'd been arguing with as the bus traveled north on Interstate 5, south of Fort Tejon. 51-year-old Lourdes Elena Vince was killed. Earlier this year, Williams was deemed incompetent to stand trial. Psychiatrists now say he is competent, but Williams' attorney is asking for another examination. That will happen before his next hearing, which is scheduled for December 2nd, when the judge will weigh in on whether proceedings can continue. A grim dose of reality today as we learn 21 more people in Kern County have died from COVID-19. Most of those people died in September and October. We are now approaching 1,700 deaths since the beginning of the pandemic. And we will most likely see these deaths continue as coronavirus spreads through our county. Today we learned 402 more people have been infected with COVID. The virus hasn't spread this fast since late September. All of this is concerning as we approach the holiday season. Just a year ago, we were seeing an average of about 90 people testing positive for the virus each day. It is now almost to 370. This is especially problematic for our hospitals as they deal with an influx of patients. 243 people are in the hospital with more severe symptoms of COVID. 63 more are in the ICU.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
And kids across the country are rolling up their sleeves today as the vaccine rollout plan for children ages 5 to 11 gets underway. It was an early morning in San Diego for these youngsters. They filled into this treatment area to get vaccinated against the virus. Those who received their initial dose today will be back in 3 weeks for a second dose. Meantime, California's vaccine mandate continues to stir up controversy in towns and cities up and down the state. In Kern County, we've seen protesters venting at local school board meetings. The protests have largely been in public schools, but yesterday, a group called Faithful for Freedom gathered at St. Francis Parish School in Bakersfield for a peaceful protest against the vaccine mandate. We asked protesters why they were targeting the school board when the mandate is coming from the state.
We don't want our school board to go to jail. We certainly don't want our principal to go to jail. We want to partner with them, and what we want to do is peacefully reach out to Bishop Brennan up in Fresno, and we want him to basically offer his shield or his support for all of his flock. We are his flock, he's our shepherd, and we want him to say enough is enough. This is a line in the sand for a lot of us.
A different group protested at Monday night's Kern High School District Board meeting. 17 News is your local election headquarters, and early returns show voters in Taft are overwhelmingly in favor of a 1-cent sales tax increase. 546 people voted on Measure A yesterday. It was the only item on the ballot. The measure was adopted by Taft City Council in August, and it requires a simple majority to pass. The tax would generate an estimated $1.6 million every year for the city. Right now, the Kern County Elections Office is reporting 74% in favor of the measure and 26% against. The Elections Office says the results are final, just not yet certified. The East High volleyball team continues their winning streak, and those wins have a special meaning this year. 18-year-old Destiny Ayala graduated from East High School last June and died just a few days later after ingesting fentanyl at a graduation party, most likely not knowing what she was taking. Ayala was on the volleyball team last year, and this year they have her in their minds as they take the court.
And we play for Destiny every day. They touch every game. They touch the jersey. We talk about that. We want her legacy. Everybody is watching us to understand what we went through, what we lost, and maybe save some young person's life.
Bakersfield police are also putting up billboards around town featuring Destiny, raising awareness about the danger of fentanyl here in our community. And just a reminder, you can watch Robert Price's in-depth look on the rising use of fentanyl here in Kern and the lives the deadly drug has taken. Just head to our website, kget.com/fentanyl. Well, in sports news, and Green Bay Packers star quarterback will not be on the field for Sunday's game, and that means Bakersfield's Jordan Love will get the start. This is all because of coronavirus. We learned this morning Aaron Rodgers has tested positive for COVID-19. The team was tight-lipped on Rodgers' vaccination status and declined to talk about his diagnosis. However, Green Bay's head coach confirmed Love will be the starting quarterback on Sunday. The Liberty High School graduate was drafted last year to the Packers. We're tracking some breaking news coming into our newsroom right now. We're getting reports of an aircraft that has crashed near Shafter. This incident was reported on the website Pulse Point just before noon at the corner of Fresno and Cherry Avenue. Shafter's Minter Airfield is just blocks away from that intersection. Shafter police confirm they are responding to an emergency in that area, but would not give us any details. We have a news crew on the way, and we'll bring you any of those details as soon as we learn more. But again, you can download our 17 News app to track this story. Again, we have a news crew on the scene or headed to the scene right now, and we will be updating you on this possible plane crash when we get more. And a popular downtown business has closed its doors as owners move to a new location. And tonight, the Bakersfield City Council is expected to vote on a grant to help with the move and improvements at the new store site. Consignment Antique Shop in Your Wildest Dreams is moving into the old Beverly's Fabrics on F Street. That's near Rosemary's. They're applying for more than $88,000 in grant money from the City of Bakersfield's Economic Opportunity Area Plan. The taxpayer-funded program aims to promote economic growth. The business says the money would be used for site improvements, security upgrades, and construction of a coffee bar. Staff has recommended approval of the grant.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.